Hey guys, got another one done. This was one, I actually have videos back in the beginning of this channel, so if you haven't gone back and looked through all the old ones, if you're a newer subscriber to the channel, I do have a lot on this one. This was in a kit of 3. It was a Tony Nancy Hall of Fame kit. It has 2 of his older ones where they have the front motor on the Dragster, a lot shorter than this, and it had the more modern day rear engine one in the kit. It was a very good kit. I see that they have a 2 car kit out with the 2 older ones that already did, but I had the all 3. Now this one was really warped and it had a lot of issues that was at the time kind of above my skill level. So I put this back in a box and kind of kept thinking about how I was going to do certain things. And the body, I think, was in the last one. I think it was part 4 of that videos. So if you're interested in, please go back and watch that. But I finally figured out how I could fix it and got it done, and now that it's done, I'm actually very happy I went back to this kit, because this is a really cool car. As you can see, it's long as can be. It's longer than my mirror that fits any of the other kits I have, and it is longer than the table, and so I think it's probably pretty close to a foot long. So let me get the ruler out and measure this. Let's see. So from nose to parachute, it is almost 11 inches. Right, 10 3/4. So decent size length. I was able to wire the engine. I used the older wire that I have been using for quite a few. That's kind of bigger than scale, but usually for a dragster this size, the spark plug wires are quite large, quite thick in diameter. So they're probably a little closer, but they're still kind of big. Let me zoom in here. So with the Dodge Dragster engines I've seen, even this kit has it, so the distributor pack is off to the one side, and I think the even more modern day ones actually have the 2 sitting right next to each other off to this one side. So I did the wrap around the back, which I think is how they did it. Just keep away from the blower belt, but it kind of looks a little jumbled up right here, but it still gets the idea across, so I still kind of like it. But I did the boots. I mean, everything's a little bit bigger. So one of the guys that watches the video, John Pohl, he gave me new tires. The tires that came with this kit were them 2-piece, real crappy plastic. Ain't even the rubbery plastic where it seams right down the middle. He was kind enough to send me 2 of the tires out of his kit. I sanded those down and made them look like nice slicks. So the darn thing's so large that I missed track of where it's at. And on this back side, this is one of the cables for releasing the chute, and most of these chutes are, you know, that kind of dull black, and then they have usually a little wire hanging out, the little braided steel wire, so that's on there. The decals were surprising for this age, and how wore out this kit was were actually very good. I think this was a 95 release, so it's not super old. We all find kits that are older than that. But for the amount of decals that went into this build, I have to say I did very well. I don't think any ripped. One thing I had to do, because of the decals were so big, because like this all is one decal, and it goes across a couple body panels. So like right here is the seam. So what I did was I already had the roll cage already all glued up except for the wing support, and I had it painted, but I didn't have the body painted. So what I had to do was glue all the body pieces on. This was supposed to come off, but I made it permanent. I glued it, I filled it, sanded the heck out of it, tried to get the warp out of the frame, and then what I did was masked off as much as the inner roll cage as I could that's supposed to be black, and then I painted this yellow on it. I think before I glued them down I might have put one coat on because I have the inside painted yellow. And then once I painted it yellow, I was able to hand touch up all the spots with overspray, because it seems like no matter how good you do, you always have overspray. And then I applied the decals, and then I did a clear over it to protect them as I was building the rest of this kit. The wing is not glued down because I haven't put a clear coat on it yet. I want to protect those decals with that. And after that clear coat cures, I am probably going to brush on some future floor wax. And on the last build I added that Roadster, that paint job was awful. That was one of my early paint jobs, and it was just very rough. I think I gave it 2 to 3 coats brushed on of that future floor wax, and it turned out pretty good. And the way I see that is like waxing your car. Over time that's gonna decay and come off, but you just spray Windex on it and rinse it off, and then the clear comes off, and then you can reapply it. So as long as your kit can handle being completely wet, which some of them can't, but if you clear with a rattle can or anything else, your decals, before you put the future on, everything should be protected. Some people like doing that, some people don't. I'm not into buffing the cars. I really love the look that everybody gets in it. It's amazing. I enjoy the build. I'm not much of a painter, I guess. I'll get there someday. It'll drive me nuts, and I want to get there and compete with the guys who do that buff and shine. But it does look amazing, but it's not for me yet. I'm not to that level. Usually them guys are building some awesome cars. But I'm very happy to bring this one out of the box, have it done. For you guys that have the ones that are in the box that you haven't been to sometime, I guess, and just pick one of them up and tackle it, and you'll be surprised at how over the time that you have improved as a modeler, and how much easier it is to actually finish those builds after they sat in the box for a while. But more power to it, and try it. You'll be surprised. It'll give you a little bit more confidence in your next build, I think. So hopefully that works for you. On to the next build. I'll talk to you then. Bye.